What's happening? How are you? Yeah.
Welcome, Kel.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Have you been having a good weekend here so far?
Yeah, I have. I've been having a good time. A lot of good people out here, right?
I know you guys are really excited, I can tell.
I love you too.
So, what's it like being part of so many people's childhoods? I know that everyone here is excited, and they probably have kids who watch your shows now.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've been blessed to still be on the network and working with all the 90s fans, and then also to have the new show as well. So I got mothers and their daughters coming up to me. Like, the kids are going, I watch Double G, and then the kids are going, Good Burger, and all the other iconic shows, man. So it's just really awesome, and it's humbling to know when people come up to me and say, wow, you were a part of my childhood. If I was having a bad day, I saw Keenan and Kel or Good Burger, and it made me feel better. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Definitely. I know I spent a lot of my childhood watching all that, Keenan and Kel,
Yeah.
Good Burger, all those shows, and I'm sure all these people did too. There's something about those shows that's different than a lot of the stuff we do now, but if you see Game Shakers, that's kind of the same style of show that we had in the 90s. For those of you who haven't seen Game Shakers, it's a really cool show. He plays there's some fans. He plays a rapper.
Yeah.
And who is working with kids who make apps and games. They're like little genius kids, right?
Yeah.
And they get into all kind of hijinks, and you definitely use that same comedic Kel style that I think we're all used to.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's cool. I mean, have a television show about two girls that can create apps. I think that's awesome for Nickelodeon. And then also, too, the games that we make on the sitcom are actually available for download at the Apple Store and also the Android store. So it's pretty cool, man. It's a first for Nickelodeon. It's pretty dope. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. What was your comedic influences growing up?
I would say Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, the Wayans brothers, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, John Ritter, who also had the pleasure of working with on Clifford the Big Red Dog. I'm Lil T-Bone on Clifford the Big Red Dog, the yellow dog, so. Yeah. So that was cool, too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, something that I've noticed about all that, since that was your first show that you that you did at Nickelodeon, and which is great that you're still working with Nickelodeon after all these years, which is a really awesome thing. Unlike a lot of other kids shows, all that was very different, and right, you love all that, I can tell. So it was hilarious. It was a really funny show, yet it was still innocent.
Yeah.
And that's something that kind of is different. Looking back, it had such diversity on the cast. Do you think that kind of represented something about the 90s, that optimism that we had and inclusion?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think also, too, like Nickelodeon is the type of network where it's for kids. So it's no matter what race you are, no matter where you come from, it's about being a kid and having fun, and that's what the network is all about. Back in the day, I remember the slogan used to be "Kids rule." You know what I mean? So that was when you came to that network. That's what it felt like, and we wanted to put that in everything that we do. And I think that's why it worked so good. Even the musical guests that we had that would come on the show, like they would just feel like they're at this big playground.
I still get excited when I hear the theme song. All that theme song.
This is all that. Can you sing it? Let's see it.
All that.
Check it out. Oh, come on. This is all that. Hey.
TLC was great. That was so cool to have TLC do a theme song for a kids' comedy show.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, Brian Robbins, who was one of the creators of the show, from head of the class and stuff like that. He was really into hip hop. He was good friends with Russell Simmons, and we had so many great musical guests and people that blessed us with just amazing theme songs. I mean, like you got TLC on all that, and then you have Coolio. For the Keenan and Kel, so it's pretty dope, And in my show, they actually got me to do the theme song, so that was pretty cool for this.
That's right. A lot of people might not know that you're actually a musician as well.
Yeah.
Very cool. If you guys have any questions, feel free to come up to the mics and we'll take them. Mic's over there.
Oh, there's a mic over there. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, where's
yeah, they're over on the side. So if you have any questions, feel free to line up, and we'll just go through in the order that you guys.
First of all, I'd like to say it is an honor and pleasure to be one of my favorite stars from the 90s.
Thank you.
And 2 questions.
Okay.
First of all, how is exactly a question that occurred recently, as it is well known that you reprised your role as Ed on a recent sketch on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah.
How exactly did you manage to do that, by the way?
Well, Jimmy, how many of y'all watch The Tonight Show? Y'all like Jimmy? Jimmy's an awesome dude, man, and him and his staff, they were fans of Good Burger. They hit up Dan Schneider, and Jimmy does amazing nostalgia reunions.
Oh, yeah.
With Saved by the Bell and all that stuff. So he's been wanting to do Good Burger. He always tells Good Burger jokes all the time on the show. And him and his writing staff are already fans, so they hit up Dan Schneider, who's the creator of my new show, Game Shakers, and who also wrote Good Burger. And they came to us and said, hey, is this something you want to do? They asked me and Keenan, and we were like, yeah, totally, let's do it. And it was just, it was a fun moment. It was a lot of fun. It was real cool, because I remember, I hadn't been in a wig in a long time, and I remember seeing it right there in the dressing room, and it was on a mannequin head, and it was like, ah. And then you see Keenan walk by, and he has the Lester Oaks construction worker hard hat on. And it was an emotional time. We both looked at each other and just started hugging and cracking up, man. It was just it's really cool. We had both our families there and everything, so it was
great.
cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then we got a big line. So let's just do one question at a time, if you don't mind, and we can just go to the next question. Over here.
Okay, real quick, first of all, I saw Keenan and Kel being recorded when I was a little kid, and it was one of the most amazing things ever. And in between scenes, that y'all had a dance contest while you and Keenan were eating lunch on the, it was hilarious. But anyway, I wondered, in all that, how much say in the scripts and the sketches did the kids actually have?
A lot. It was pretty cool, because they would write it the way that it was supposed to be written, and the writer said, okay, let's record it the way that it was written, at least 2 times. But Keenan and me, we like to improv a lot, and so they knew that. So as long as we had it in the can for those 2, then they said, okay, let's have some fun, let's go crazy with it. And we would improv. A lot of the stuff with Coach Cretin, I mean, you couldn't really write that, you know what I mean? I was, it was funny, the writers always had a joke with me. They would say, and then Coach Cretin tears up the room, or he gets really physical, because they never knew what I was going to do. And I ended up, doing crazy stuff, and it would end up into the show. So that was pretty cool that they were lenient enough to let us do that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Great question. That's really neat that they let you guys have such input in the show, which is probably why it was so relatable to the rest of us, because it wasn't just a bunch of people, adults, that were coming up with the comedy.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Question.
Why did you drop the screw in the tuna?
I don't know, man. It was an accident, and I didn't want Keenan to know. It's an accident. And that's why I kept it in so long, but then it had to come out, I just couldn't. Kel Kimball was such a great guy, he couldn't lie, you know what I mean? And it came out in the craziest way, and that's an example for what she was just talking about. We shot that, we did about 12 takes of that, and every time I did it different. Every time. So it was crazy, but that's one of the most memorable ones. It was funny.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes. What was your favorite skit to do with all that?
Ooh. Of course, Ed, because Ed, he was awesome, and then spent off to do the movie. But one of my most favorite would be Coach Cretin. Just because, the missing tooth, yelling at kids, shut up! That was just fun for me. You get really crazy.
So you guys had input in the sketches. Did you have input in the characters? Did you come up with characters yourself, and they kind of ran with them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were very similar. We were like a kid SNL. So it was we had our own characters. When we auditioned, they asked us, did we have any characters? And I would just do old men that I knew, in Chicago, people I saw on the bus, and, things like that. I was always coming up with my own characters, and a lot of stuff was born in the audition process as well. And I know with Ed, if you watch Nickelodeon like crazy, there was a sketch called Dream Remote with Josh Server, and he could fast forward his sister and rewind her and have pizza come really quickly. And I played a pizza guy, and it was Ed the pizza guy. That was the first time you ever saw Ed. And I didn't have braids or anything like that. I was just like, no, here's your pizza. And they liked the voice, and they were like, we need something else. So I remember when they created a sketch for that voice, which was Good Burger.
Oh, wow.
And I said, okay, well, look, he has to look different. Like, I can't just have the hat. So I went into the hair room, and I saw these Milli Vanilli brandy wigs. And I put that on, and then I put on the hat, and then I just started doing this walk, and it just came together, and Ed was born. It was crazy. Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I just have to say thank you so much for coming out to Pensacola for us. We really appreciate it. There are four generations of Strumeyers in this second row here that are my kids that we sit and watch you guys. Raise your hands, boys, over there. Raise your hands. Come on.
Raise your hand. Hey, hey. Oh, hey.
We live on Kel Mitchell. We love it. I mean, we watched Good Burger last night because we were going to come see you today.
Thank you, man.
But we just really, really appreciate it. My question is, what was it like working with Dan Schneider? Because I know he had his hands in all that, Keenan and Kel. He even came up, iCarly, Sam and Cat, and all those. And you had a role in Sam and Cat where you were a rapper, and Sam became your bodyguard. What was it like to work with Dan, Dan Schneider? I mean, he was so cool to me, because I know he was from head of the class way back in the day when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But how was it? I mean, was he?
It's awesome. I mean, I'm working with Dan now. He's the creator of Game Shakers, and I see him all the time. We always text each other, and he's a great guy. I mean, I look at him like Uncle Dan at this point because it's like Dan has known me since I was about 14 years old. So it's a lot of fun, and me and Dan, we go to the side even now, and we come up with more and more jokes. So the way it was written, it gets wild all the time because we just come up with we have the same type of mindset for comedy. Right. So it's awesome working with him. I tell people all the time, like, us getting back together is like Eminem and Dr. Dre getting back together. He's Dr. Dre, I'm Eminem. And it's like all this just beautiful music comes together when the two of us are together. So he understands it. Coming from head of the class, he understands the behind the scenes and the front, and he's just a great guy. He works like crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know how he puts it all together. Like Henry Danger, if you watch that on Nickelodeon, Henry Danger and Game Shakers were filmed at the same exact time on the same studio lot. So he will run back and forth doing both shows. So just a great, talented guy.
Awesome. Well, you guys make a great team. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Now, what was it like, since you kind of grew up on a kids show and you're back on a kids show, what's it like behind the scenes? What's the environment like?
The environment, it's really the same. Kids, even working with kids, it's beautiful to see the two young ladies that are on the show, Maddie and Cree, like this is their first television show. So it's awesome giving them advice because I've lived it and seeing those moments come together for them. Because like Cree, I remember I had a party for the first episode when it aired in September, and she was like, people are watching us right now as we're watching this, And it was cool seeing their, dreams come true, And I think the difference between now and Nickelodeon is just the social media aspect. Like social media definitely has changed, since the 90s, you know what I mean? I mean, we didn't have it. So a good thing we didn't have it. There's probably a lot of crazy stuff you would see from Keenan and me. But I think that's the big difference is the social media part.
Yeah, you have about 85,000 Facebook fans, I noticed.
On Twitter, and on Instagram, I'm almost at 100,000. So
people still love you. That's right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, question?
I know a lot of people remember you from Good Burger the movie and also Mystery Men the movie, made for theater. But my personal favorite was Two Heads Are Better Than None. Can you talk about what was like different between filming a made-for-TV movie versus, filming a movie that's meant to go out, motion picture theater kind of thing? Yeah,
made-for-TV movie, I mean, that was similar to, like, just doing the show. You know what I mean? But we did a lot of stuff on location. So it was like, filming a big film. But Two Heads it was still like we're doing Keenan and Kel, you know what I mean? Mystery Men, awesome movie, working with Dark Horse Comics and working with Ben Stiller, Janine Garofalo, Hank Azaria. Like, it was just a all-star team. And, of course, Paul Rubens, Pee-wee. That was a lot of fun working with him as well. It was pretty cool, man. Yeah.
Great question. Oh, you look, pink bow, red bow.
Oh, hi.
Hi. In the movie Good Burger, did you pull any pranks while you were making the movie?
Pull any pranks? I don't know. We joked around a lot, you know what I mean? Because, you got these kids for all these different hours, so we definitely joked around a lot. We did a lot of crazy stuff with food fights. and stuff like that because there was so many burgers and meat everywhere. So it was a lot of food fights and stuff with the strawberry jacuzzi and stuff like that. So we did have fun playing around that way.
Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
question,
I like
sweetie.
your bow. That's cool.
And this is really awesome. I think this is kind of indicative of your longevity of your career. We have adults and kids that still have questions for you. So
Man, I love
next
it.
kid.
What has been your favorite thing have on your career? Like, how have you been doing?
Favorite thing in my career. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's so much I've done. Like I've produced, I've wrote, and also direct as well, direct music videos. So it's so much I'm involved in. I think more for me, it's about the people that I meet and the people that I encounter. You know, like got good advice from Will Smith and Angela Bassett and John Ritter and all these just great, amazing people that I've met along the way. You know, I think that's the cool part about it. Yeah.
Great question. Waldo.
I remember you from Good Burger, and it's about the only thing. But two questions. One, what was your in Good Burger? What was your favorite scene/quote?
Okay. Oh, whoa. Working with George Clinton in Funkadelic, at that part, in the insane asylum. That was fun, because I got to do choreographed dance, and that was just crazy. And then meeting him, because my dad listened to that music all the time, so that was big for the whole entire family. And my mom was in that sketch as well for like a little second. Like Keenan was arguing with the security guard, and then my mom, you see this woman dance by. That was my mom. So that was cool. And then my favorite line in Good Burger wasn't one of my lines. It was actually Abe Vigoda's line that he went to be with the Lord about 2 weeks ago. So rest in peace, Abe Vigoda. Godfather, so many great movies. But my favorite line was when he said, "I think I hurt my," But you know the line, right? So that was hilarious, and him looking at Carmen Electra and all that stuff. He was just amazing in the movie. So shout out to Abe, man. I know he's in heaven making people laugh, Yeah.
And question two was, when during one delivery after Dexter came in, he was making a delivery to Shaq. How was it when you were meeting him?
Like being a giant. His hands are so big. It's like this here. And he's a big kid. I mean, I had like a dance battle with Shaq, and it was a serious break dance battle. And he kind of won because when he would get on the ground and break dance, his legs were so long, it just pushed me out of the circle. So, but I love Shaq, man. Every time I see him, we crack up laughing. He's just a great guy. Yeah.
I'm reminded of the movie he did, was it Shazam, where he was a genie. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, Joker.
Hey.
Whoa, hey.
If you could take any sketch from all that, turn it into a comic book, what do you think it would be?
comic
Any of them, not just yours, just any of them.
That's a great question.
I would die to see a Repairman comic.
That's hilarious, because you know what was funny? When you said that was the first thing on my mind. I was going, Repairman would probably be awesome
That would be
as a
amazing.
graphic novel. That would be awesome. Put him and the shoveler together from Mystery Man. Some of that. That'd be crazy.
Great question. Yeah.
Okay, so I actually have two questions. The first one, we know that Kel and Keenan Kel loves orange soda, but how do you feel about it?
I had to drink a lot of orange soda. A lot of it, liters every day. I drink more water now. I work out a lot, so I drink more healthier. But I still love orange soda. I do. Ooh.
I'm sure you've had to say that many, many, many times.
Yes, many times. Bathrooms, churches, everywhere.
Wow.
Everywhere.
And then my second question, it relates to your role as Kel, but also to your voice work as T-Bone. T-Bone from Clifford, he had a lot of fears, and he was afraid of a lot of things. So, I was kind of old when I watched it. I wasn't quite the age, but his character and your voice really taught me a lot of lessons about my insecurities. And Kel also was a very good figure that a lot of people looked up to. So how do you feel about knowing that you've had such influential roles that have helped people kind of find their own.
It's awesome. Like hearing stories like that, like what you just said, it feels so good, to hear that. And I gravitate towards a lot of characters like that have a story or something that they overcome. Because my passion is a lot for kids to just believe in themselves and know that they can make it. I grew up in the church, so for me, I feel that you got to have that faith to know that you can make it through anything, even if you're dealing with bullying or a fear of something, you can know that you can make it and your things can change around. So for me, I gravitate towards characters that go through that journey and come out on the good side of things. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Great questions. Yeah. Oh.
I'm videoing because I love
Okay.
you so much. You've been my celebrity crush since I was like little. I ran around like, I love Kel, that's who I want to marry. But as someone who started acting so young, is it kind of surreal? How do you feel about mentoring these new young actors who are doing such great shows now? Is that like just so awesome for you? How do you feel about it?
It's awesome. I feel like I'm glad I'm there to give them some advice, because we didn't really have that. You know what I mean? We were just running around figuring it out on our own, and I feel that it's cool. Like they call me Uncle Kel on set. You know what I mean? Because I am playing a father on the show, but I'm like a cool dad, so it's kind of like I'm like the Uncle Jesse. You know what I mean? And so it's really awesome to be able to give them advice and pull them to the side if they're, sometimes if they're dealing with something with a line or something like that, I give it to them, or even show them some physical things that they can do as far as comedy. I love doing that.
That's really great. Keep doing what you're doing. We love you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
What was your favorite sketch to work on Keen and Kel?
Ooh. I like the Thanksgiving episode when I had to run around with the turkey under my jacket and fly all over the place. That was a great episode. When I messed up the sweater, when Keenan was going out on a date and I tore the sweater up, that was a funny episode. There's so many great ones with Keenan and Kel. It was just awesome. I mean, to work with Keenan, with both of us, like they saw us offset and how we interacted, and that's how they came up with the Keenan and Kel show. I remember the other kids were going on break from one of the seasons, and they were like, you guys are going to stay here, and we're going to shoot the Keenan and Kel show. So it was just awesome. Like, we were really just doing what we would do offset anyway. So it was cool having a show like that. It was great. Yeah.
So I'm sure everyone's wondering, do you still keep in touch with Keenan?
Of course. Of course. I was just in New York doing promos for Game Shakers, and I went to go visit him because I can't go to New York without visiting Keenan because he's just like, hey, man, let me know when you're here. So we both have kids now, so the conversations are different now. But that's my boy, man, definitely. There's no beef. There was never any beef. I'm so happy for him on SNL. I'm so happy for him that he got that part. So we're just, we're excited. We love it.
That's great. It's great to hear.
Do you want some orange soda?
You brought me orange soda? Okay, I do. Oh, let's bring it. Orange soda. Yeah. Thank you. It's glowing.
I'm surprised I never asked you to endorse a soda brand.
We are in talks. We're talking about something.
Nice. I think we'd all have our own Kel Mitchell orange soda. I think we'd buy that for sure. Yeah, go ahead, a question.
All right, so somebody already beat me to getting you to do the I love orange soda quote, so you've got to give us the good burger greeting.
Okay, I got you. You ready? I know the Snapchats and Instagrams are getting ready, so I'm trying to give y'all a second.
Get your stuff ready.
Yeah, okay. You ready? Okay. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Wow.
All right, so I had to get that out of the way. I loved watching you and Keenan and Kel, all that. That's what I grew up with watching on Nickelodeon. Do you and Keenan have anything coming down the pipeline possibly? I mean, because you guys, your on-screen chemistry,
yeah.
You could tell how natural it was. So it doesn't surprise me that you guys are still really good friends even
Thank
to this
you.
day.
Yeah, because of the Jimmy Fallon reunion, we've been talking about doing something for the fans, because we feel like it's been a long time. They wanted to see us back together. So you might see something coming up pretty soon. I gotta be hush about it, but just keep your watch out on both of our social medias. We got some stuff coming. You might see a Good Burger to go or something.
Ooh, nice. Speaking of social media, where can people follow you on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook? How can they find you?
At I am Kel Mitchell on Twitter. at I am Kel Mitchell on Instagram. And then you can also go to my website that has all my social media and where I'm going, because I'm also doing stand-up comedy too. So I'm doing a tour right now. You can go to kelmitchell.com, kelmitchell.net, it'll get you there. Yeah.
Awesome. So make sure you guys follow him and tweet him and hashtag all that stuff. Yeah.
Hi. I'm actually asking this for my husband because he's sick and has lost his voice.
Oh, where is he? Hey, man. Hope you feel better, brother.
His question is, you've done a lot of very comedic roles.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered or wanted to do something more serious and deep?
Yeah, I have actually. I've worked with John Sayles. I don't know if you know, the amazing director. I did a film called Honey Dripper, where it was me, Danny Glover, Charles S. Dutton, and when I started out in theater too as well, I did a lot of drama. And I'm a writer as well, so my short film was more of a dramedy, but there's some drama involved in that as well. And you'll see me doing more of that. But I feel like God has blessed me with the grace to be funny and make people laugh, and it just comes naturally. So it's like, for me, I consider that a blessing. So I'm just like, I'm gonna just continue to make people laugh, because it's like it's medicine to them. You know what I mean? But you will see me do some dramatic roles as well. Yeah.
Great question. Yeah.
How was it transitioning over from regular acting to voice acting?
Oh, that was pretty. It was pretty easy. Like, it was fun because I had a voice director tell me it's similar to what you do on stage. They were like, because some people would think you're just getting up there and you're just saying the line, like with T-Bone. He's like, "Be the best dog on your block," right? But T-Bone did a lot of physical stuff too, so he was physical just like me. So when you had to burrow through the ground or like dig, like we really had to do it in the room. So it's like, so you got physical there. So it was kind of cool, because being a physical comedian, it's fun. But the awesome thing about voiceover, you can go in there looking like whatever. You can go in your underwear, it doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna know. So that's kind of fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Can you please do the Dude song? I love that song.
Okay, you guys have to sing it with me if that's what we're gonna do. You ready? Okay. It's time to put hard times behind, get all the bad things off your mind. He's feeling good, she's feeling good, we're feeling good, yeah. Just hanging out, just having fun, we're number one. Just hanging out, just having fun. I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. There's nothing better than your friends. There's no problem. You can't win someone that's always got your back. Not caring about this or that. Just hanging out, just having fun. We're number one. Just hanging out, just having fun. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. It's all about meeting new faces, a smile on your face and you can't erase it. Partying on to the break of dawn. Partying on to the break of dawn. Hey, it's time to put hard times behind, get all the bad things off your mind. He's feeling good, she's feeling good, we're feeling good, yeah. Just hanging out, just having fun, we're number one. Just hanging out, just having fun.
He's a dude, she's a dude.
Hey!
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
I just had
No problem.
a flashback in the middle of that. I had forgotten I knew that song so well. I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Sorry, I came in a little bit late, so I don't know if this question was asked already, but what was it like to work with Coolio?
Oh, it wasn't asked. That was awesome, man. That was fun. I remember we shot the opening titles at Universal Studios City Walk. And I remember Coolio got on a radio station and he said, "Yo, LA, I'm doing this new show with Keenan to Kill." And from all that, they got a new show called Keenan to Kill. Everybody come down. And I mean, it was millions of people in City Walk. We couldn't even move. It was crazy because Coolio was so huge back then, and it was just like bananas. And it was just a lot of fun working with him and all the great artists that were on all that. Like we developed friendships with everybody, hanging out with Coolio, hanging out with his family, and hanging out with TLC and Usher and Aaliyah. Rest in peace. So it's been awesome. Yeah.
Wow. Do you keep in touch with anyone else from the All That cast?
Of course, of course. Josh Server, Danny Tamborelli, Lori Beth, you know what I mean?
Lori Beth.
Angelique, just everybody. We recently had a reunion at the New York Comic Con. So we had a reunion and the whole cast was there. And that was a lot of fun. And then at Kamikaze Expo, we had everybody together too. So yeah, it was cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is towards the end, so I just got to get one more quote that I know everybody wants to hear. So I need you to meet me outside with an ostrich, a jetpack, some rollerblades. I got a plan.
Oh, here it goes. That's funny.
Anybody have more questions? If you feel free, line up the mic. So you're such a positive and upbeat person. I think we can all see that you're just kind of a happy guy. What inspires you?
What inspires me? Of course, my love for Christ. That inspires me. And just seeing people smile and being happy. You know, there's so much stuff that's going on in the world right now as far as violence and racism, things like that. And just these moments, just seeing everybody together and happy and having like a great moment, I think that's what we need more of, like more of love. You know what I mean? And so for me, that's what it's all about. That's why I could never be a stuck-up actor or, because you see a lot of them, you know what I mean, walking around, and it's just like, really, dude? You know what I mean? Like, these are people that, grew up watching you, and, I'm thankful for that. So it's all about love for me.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hey, you've already done so much awesome stuff and worked with a lot of great people. Like, what's next for you? What do you want to do now?
I want to do more directing. I love that. I love doing that. I have some more films that are coming out. I'm excited about that. Like I said before, I am working out a lot, so you might see me in an action film. So I'm getting ready for that because I really love action, sci-fis, and stuff like that. And so I work with a crazy company for this movie, Battle of Los Angeles with Asylum. Asylum does Sharknado and all that stuff. So I did a sci-fi film with them that came out, I think it was a year ago on the Sci-Fi Channel. And that was a lot of fun. So I want to do more action films. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, this question is from the girl in the front. She's just, that outfit is hard to move around in.
Got you. No problem. How you doing?
So the question is, if you weren't in the entertainment business, what would you be doing?
Ooh. Maybe commercial jingles. I like jingles. But that's kind of like still in the business though, so that's random. I don't know. I mean, I definitely would be doing something working with the youth still, I think, even if it was being a teacher or something like that. I'd be into that. Yeah.
Are you a teacher?
Yes.
Oh.
Hey. I would be into that. That'd be cool. Yeah.
And one more thing, you said you like healthier things. I have a bunch of oranges in my bag if you'd like some. Like, I'm dead serious with trying.
Keep yourself healthy.
You'd be surprised at how many oranges I got. I got so many. But thank you though. Thank you. I went fruit crazy this morning, so.
At least you'll stay nice and healthy, all that vitamin C.
You got to do it, right? That's good for you.
Jeff?
I'm back. Hey, I'm a teacher too, so woo!
Hey, shout out to the teachers.
Yes,
man.
loving teaching.
Teachers. Oh, a lot of teachers
yeah.
here. Hey.
That's all right. Since Nickelodeon's brought back the Splat,
yes,
and they've come back, and they show the, all the old school shows, the '90s shows or whatever. Do your kids watch the Splat and watch you when they show the Keenan and Kel? And they show some all that on there. And,
yes, they
and all
do.
That.
They do. They watch a lot of it, and it's funny because a lot of their friends are fans too of the show, and then they like the new show as well. Because my daughter's the same age as the girls that are on my current show, and then my son is 16 now, so. But he watched the shows. They all like them. And it was funny. I remember I talked about that episode before, Mo Sweater Blues, where I lost the sweater and messed it up on the Keenan and Kel episode. I tried to hide from him because I dribbled orange soda on the sweater. And I was hiding, trying to find out where to hide in the kitchen. I ended up in the garbage. And it was funny because my son did something that he wasn't supposed to do when he was about, I think 5. And he started hiding in that way. And I couldn't find him. And then I look over, he's in the garbage. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, you did it on television. I'm like, you're right, I'm sorry. So I just had to laugh about it.
That's That's hilarious. That's
Awesome,
hilarious.
thank you.
No problem.
This is a really funny piggyback because I was actually going to ask you how old your kids were.
Oh, you know
and
now.
depending on how old they were, do you find them cutting up like that, or they have any interest in getting into the industry?
My son, he's into sports, so he's not gonna. He's like all about it. He plays football and baseball, all that stuff. My daughter, maybe, because she digs it. She loves to sing. She has a great voice. So I think she's into that. She probably end up getting into music, but then she also wants to be a doctor. I mean, she's 14, so she's like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, doctor. But I believe in their dreams. Whatever they want to do, I got them. I'm supporting them.
Awesome.
So just to add on to her question about what inspires you, I've read that you're involved with a few nonprofits. Could you possibly share about that?
Definitely. I work with Make-A-Wish Foundation. Also with many different churches and church groups. Also to just a lot of Black College Expo. They give away scholarships on the spot to kids. All they have to do is bring their test scores. And we have colleges that come out and you can actually get a scholarship, on the spot. So that's awesome to me too, because education is important to me as well. Because my mom is a teacher, and then my father is a therapist too as well. So I'm into that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
It's me again. To add on to what a previous person beforehand has said, would you encourage anyone's kids to go into acting?
Oh, go into acting?
To acting, I think, is an appropriate question.
Yeah. I would always say know a sense of who you are before you get into acting, because so many people get lost into their characters. And that's why you see so many tragic endings to a lot of entertainers.
I don't know if you're willing to ask about this, but like what's happening to Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
We can just. I think Kel can just talk a little bit more about acting then.
Yeah. I feel like with acting, you see a lot of entertainers get into a lot of turmoil and things like that. It's because of the fact that you get lost between the Hollywood world and who your character is, and trying to find that next jobs and things like that, because it's ups and downs in this business if there's any actors that are here. And you have to realize a sense of yourself and who you are. Like, you have to ask yourself, I heard an actress say this, she said, if you were to take away acting and you can never act again, if you're an actor and we say, take this away from you, you can never act again, what would you do? And that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. But when I realized, I like to help others, and I love to, be a helper to others and assist them and help them with feeling their joy. And when I realized that, I could be doing that in anything. It doesn't have to just be acting, And once I realized that, then I didn't get lost in my characters or how people feel about me and all that stuff like that. And I think that's important,
Thanks. Next question. Thanks.
Hey, Carl, I had two questions for you.
Word.
One, I think I remember you having a rap career at some point. I wanted to know how. I forgot my question. What that was like for you, and two, I know you mentioned your love for Christ. I wanted to know, throughout your career, did you ever feel like you had any moments where it was hard to keep your faith, or if you felt like you had to struggle with compromise at any point with that?
Yeah, definitely. First question about the rapping. Yeah, I used to rap. I was rapping before I actually got on television. I had a group. We performed on all that twice, I believe. It was a group called Aftermath, and then we changed it to Math, but we performed on the show, and that was a lot of fun. And to see and work with all the musical acts that were on the show, that was awesome. And then I had a song on the Mystery Men soundtrack. Who are those Mystery Men? It's on the DVD. We did a music video and all that stuff. And it's cool because now I get to rap again, like as far as Double G. Double G is just an awesome character to play, playing a rapper now. So I do the theme song to my new show, and we're putting out an album with Double G as well. And so that's a lot of fun. And then as far as my love for Christ, I think I've been through a lot in my career, and he spoke of Amanda Bynes earlier, one of the guys, and she's doing a lot better, you guys. She's doing great. She has a fashion line that she's working on, and she's pitching shows, so that's awesome. And I feel like in moments like that, that's when your faith comes in, because people were asking me when she was going through the stuff she was going through. They were like, oh, yeah, do People Magazine and say something about her. And, they were calling all the cast members. And I was like, no, I look at her like a sister. Like, that's like a younger sister to me. And I wanted to pray for her instead of like trying to get some media. You know what I mean? So I prayed for her, and the prayers was answered. She's doing awesome. And then as far as with me, you know, when you have that faith and you go through a hard time in your life, you know, getting back with the Lord and getting into the Word every morning. I do that every morning with everything that I do. With people that I meet, I want them to see the Christ in me. You know what I mean? So it gets you through. You know, it definitely does. I have been in times where I've been depressed or been through some things, but God brought me out of it. And I think that's awesome to be able to tell others that they can get through it too. Because it's not just, when I meet you all for the love of like we're all family. Yeah, you watch me on shows, and yeah, you watch me on TV, but I feel like we are family because, you know, we're all part of this world. You feel me? So I love y'all like family. Yeah.
Awesome. We have time for one more question. So if we have one more question someone wants to ask, we just pop up to the mic. Are you going to ask from your seat, Jeff? I can probably hear you. Is that your son?
This is my
Your grandson?
Wow, what's up, man?
What?
It's okay. He's out kicking it, huh? Just hanging out? Oh, okay.
My question, I guess, goes along with, with everything else. What is your, my grandson's hanging out with me and all that stuff. We just think you're fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let it go from there. You're like an icon in our house, and you don't know us, and we're all that, but when you tell us that we're part of your family.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. I appreciate all the love too and watching the shows, man. Thanks so much, man. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Since Jeff forgot his, we have time for you. So the question you didn't hear was, what job would he least like to do? Gosh, that's a big question.
Oh, God. Least like to do? Mortician? Wow, that's crazy. I have a cousin that does that. That's why I don't know how he does that. But it's just like, but hey, it's a gig, I don't know. It's not least like to do. I don't know. I like dabbling in everything. Like have you seen that show? I think it's a reality show where a guy does all these dirty jobs.
Oh, yeah.
That show? I like that show because you would think like, oh, I would hate to do that. But then when you see him do it, it's just like, oh, okay. Right. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if it's one that I could say least. Yeah, I don't know. Because, I think everybody loves what they do. I don't want to offend anybody if I say, well, this. And then everybody's like, that's what I do. You know what I mean? And I love it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So what can we see you in next beyond Game Shakers?
Beyond Game Shakers, definitely look out for my comedy special because I've been doing my tour for the last 2 years and definitely going to put together a special. That's going to be
we'll
awesome.
be able to see that on...
Yeah, on television. Yeah,
great.
So look out for that. And then, yeah, man, it's just a lot of other movies that I can't talk about right now because I got to be...
So
it's good stuff
keep
coming
your
up.
eyes peeled for what he's doing next. And I'm assuming if they follow you on social media, they can keep up with when those things are released.
That's right.
When you're allowed to talk about it.
And watch Game Shakers as well. And then you'll see us at the Kids' Choice Awards. We're taking that whole thing over. It's
So
going
you're
to be crazy.
still on the Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah, man. You got to do it.
Like Nickelodeon's favorite person, right? Well, we are out of time, folks. We want to thank you guys so much for coming out to this panel. I know I had a great time. I'm sure all of you did. Let's give a hand for Kel Mitchell.
Love y'all. God bless.